Hello bass family, and welcome to Everything Bass. I was just demonstrating today's lesson topic. And from the beginning, I want to say that if you're a Patreon subscriber, you may want to pause the video and go to the link in the description below. Go to the Patreon page for Everything Bass. Find this video, whatever the title of the video is, that's what the post will be, and download this, which is a series of neck images with fingering patterns on them, because we're going to talk about something different. You know, there's a lot of ways to approach scales, practice them, and put them into your playing. And one of the ways I liked, especially when I learned how to chain all my major pentatonic patterns together on the fingerboard, is to just take a 2-string snippet of them. Now, I should say you can check out on my channel. There's the modes of major, or 5 pentatonic major modes or something, and patterns. I'll have to look at it, but perhaps I'll put it in the description. But that'll get you familiar with the entire fingering all the way across a 4-string bass fingerboard. But we're going to just take the D and the G string. Now, you're not limited to this. I just took it at random, but you could practice this subject on any 2 sets of strings, whether they be adjacent to each other or separated by 1 or 2 strings. But the idea is being able to add in these phrases instead of playing the entire scale. Sometimes you want to do and know where to put your fingers, how it's going to sound. So what I did is I started with F major pentatonic, and I started with the 3rd fret on the D string, and I play the first 4 notes of the major pentatonic scale without having to shift. That's one pattern. Just as if you're starting the scale, I want root, major 2nd, major 3rd, perfect 5th. Now, I shift up and I start on the major 2, and I play the same up the scale. I continue up the scale, which creates this sound. Then I go and start from the major 3rd, right? Go to the perfect 5th, and then go to the major 6. So I took these notes and I learned how to play them in 5 positions on the fingerboard. Might find this helpful is to sit down, pick, like today, F major pentatonic, sit down and write out what the notes are in the scale. So you sit there and go, okay, F, G, A, C, D, F. Then once you have that down, starting on it, you know, we're using just 2 strings, starting on the nearest F or the F you want to start on, look on that chart and play those notes until you have to shift, and then shift and start on the same string and get this flow going. Now what you'll notice, especially if you can visualize, see the chart I wrote out, but 2 of the pattern shapes are exactly the same, which is this. So you've got the first 4 notes of the major pentatonic, then you have this little box shape, then you have this shape, which is a minor 3rd interval and a minor 3rd interval. Then you got that box shape again, and then you have this pattern, which is a minor 3rd and then a major 2nd. So you've got this. Now what's cool is to be able to just kind of improvise over that. Usage, why is this important? Well, depending on where you play it, you can fit in now little bass line licks and know with confidence what, you know, where to shift and how those notes are going to sound against the chord. You know, you might be playing and you want to go Scott, and be able to kind of work in a version of that will give you a new freshness to your line, expand out of whatever bass line you're playing. Of course, in soloing it makes it easy because you see an F major chord come up and you go, everything sounds so happy because of major pentatonic, so happy sounding. So how do you practice this? Well, I would start initially by just memorizing what I showed you, get familiar with the shapes. And then you can just change the tonic. You could say, okay, well, I'll do it in G major. You can move it to other sets of strings. Stay with F major. And play through it. Of course, you can separate the strings. That's going to be a lot harder, but why not? If you're enjoying the process and it's starting to kind of find its way into your actual improvisational playing, then yeah, I would keep doing it and keep doing it. But it's fun. It really is. If you've got a looper, you've got a way to play over a static chord, there's some apps that you can actually set up a chord sequence, but just put it on F major over and over again and just kind of improvise, play around. Do maybe just one of the strings. Kind of fun. Do all descending. I played that wrong. So it's a very cool way to add a neat element to your playing. It should be very quick to practice and get under your fingertips. Now, if it's not, then there's a missing piece. Maybe you really didn't spend a lot of time with major pentatonic. You don't really understand how it sounds, how it plays. So go back and look at my anything I've done with major pentatonic. Maybe you don't know your fingerboard well enough, so you're struggling over that, and that's common. It happened to me when I first started off. So maybe go to some of my videos on like exercises and things to learn your fingerboard better. There is actually videos about on my channel about learning your fingerboard. I think I call it learning the notes of your fingerboard. Who knows? Who knows what's holding you back? I can help you if just message me below with whatever, like what seems to be tripping you up, and I'll definitely like to help you out. So thanks for stopping by. I hope you find this interesting. And of course, you can do other scales, by the way. You can do it with any scale. It doesn't have to be a pentatonic. You could do it with any of the modes, but figure out in one hand position all the notes you can play, and then move to the next note of the scale, play all the notes you can play in that hand position, and you're going to start finding yourself less trapped in the box and more freely flowing up and down the fingerboard. It's cool. Thank you so much, guys. We will see you again on the next video. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to put them in the comments below. If you like the video, give it a like. And if you know a bass player who hasn't yet found these videos, please share it. Share it on your social media. I'd love to grow the family bigger. It's just a lot of fun to be able to reach out to players all over the world, get dialogues going, and work together to all be better bass players. Thanks so much. I'll see you at the next video.